Tell me what you're doing, Kyle.
Setting up for the first interview.
Wow.
So we got this big 8x8 that's probably too big for my kitchen. All right, so we have a 600 over here that is being double diffused. I set up an 8x8 T-bar. And like the whole idea, I guess like the philosophy of the light is to sort of anchor it in reality. So we have, if you look at the monitor here, we have like actual daylight coming through and we sort of balance that and we just try to make it look real. So today we're using the S52X. I have the 24-70, a couple stops of ND on just to make sure I don't blow out the windows. And I have this monitor. This one's nice because it has false color. So if you're ever in a pinch, you can make sure your exposure's looking good.
Cool.
The taste of memory itself. It's a place few chefs dare to go.
It was really fun to make these with Kyle, Anthony, Louisa, all the other people. It's bittersweet for this to come to an end, but I'm looking forward to seeing what we end up making next for the Lumix account.
Louisa, how does it feel to be done with the Chef's Table series?
It's kind of sad. I'm gonna miss making these videos. I think they're so funny and they're so fun, and I'm gonna miss this character.
Yeah, what's the inspiration behind your chef critic?
Just like on the cooking shows, the chefs that are just a little pretentious, they're a little like their way with words is almost funny because nobody talks like that. Like he hangs on the precipice of perfection and ruin. Nobody talks like that, so I love it. Well, I love the Lumix team. It's my favorite team to make videos with because there's like such a juxtaposition of like making funny videos with such good equipment that it just makes the video so much better.
Connor, break me through the lighting that we got here.
Okay, so basically what we're doing right now is we're reinforcing the soft light from this modifier behind me just to make our talent have a more flattering look. So originally, again, one soft source, that's great, but you can make it better by putting it through a second soft source, especially if it's a large one. As you can see, this is an 8x8 silk, and by having this combination of the two soft sources, it will give a very flattering soft look on the actor's face.
Okay, so we're doing our second interview. I have him facing the other direction now, so they're not all looking the same way. The lighting setup is totally the same. We have the same 8x, the same 600, and this floppy to control contrast. I'm just trying to look for depth, and I have this archway we're kind of playing with, so I think it'll look pretty good if he sits down in there. We have light in the background, like, you always want to go for like a salt and pepper frame, not flat. So I really like how the sun is peeking in right here. That looks good. I like the shadow in the arch. And we're just going for as much depth as possible, especially in a vertical frame. Like shooting vertical is, I think it's tougher because it's not really how we see the world. So I'm always looking to try to make things look more three-dimensional.
The truth is, the world is more delicate than any graham cracker. Ported back in time, catching a glimpse of innocence before it burns away.
And how exactly did you get into the character today to become so emotionally invested?
Well, s'mores is a very big childhood connection, so that was right there for me. But it's very important in my process that I connect with what matters to me in my childhood, you know? And that's personal to me, but I was able to connect it to s'mores because, of course, s'mores are very beautiful for a childhood experience.
All right, so we got our interviews done, and now we're gonna do the actual like cooking. And for this episode, it's all outside. And so I just kind of had a vision of Connor like using an axe to chop his own firewood to make a s'more.
All right.
So I'm trying to set up like a cool establishing scene with a slider and just make it dramatic of him coming up and maybe grabbing the axe and then like chopping.
So how do you think the interviews went?
Great. I mean, having actual actors on set is always wonderful. It can just open up the possibilities of telling the story instead of just seeing someone like me on camera, which has no acting background. Alex killed it. He's super funny. His improv is great, and yeah, he just always brings it.
Are you feeling inspired to make some s'mores?
After everything him and Louisa said, yeah, of course. I have some big shoes to fill, and I'm excited to see what I can make.
You think you can handle this axe?
It's not my first rodeo. Watch me cut to like the worst possible chop ever.
All right, so Kyle, what are we up to now?
We're just prepping the fire for the final scene. It's gonna be blue hour pretty soon, and it's gonna be good color contrast between the orange fire and the blue sky. So yeah, we're just kind of waiting around, making sure this thing, we get this going.
How does it feel to be the last scene of the Chef's Table series?
It's good. It's like a little bittersweet. It was definitely fun to make. I was just watching Chef's Table one day, and I was like, wow, it'd be really fun to film something in this style. And I was like, how could we make it more fun? So we kind of spoofed it with Connor being a professional chef and like the food critics not understanding why he just wants to eat simple food. So the final scene is dessert. It's a s'more, and we'll be shooting probably in like 20-30 minutes.
Other than today, do you have a favorite Chef's Table video that we've made? Or a favorite shot? How about a favorite shot?
I mean,
from
the
a
hot
video?
dog flip. I think
The hot
that's what
dog flip is
everyone
iconic.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I just know that Kyle's taking the most beautiful footage right now.
It looks really good.
I'm sure. Tell us after the fact. I should have been the chef. Look at this.
It's worse than mine.
It's horrifying.